Amanda. It's great to have you here today.
Thanks. Nice to see you, Nancy.
I want to jump right in because I've got four questions that I want to ask you. And the first one is really about why did you decide to become an estate planning attorney?
So, thank you for the question. I've been an estate planning attorney for about a dozen years or so. I have a practice. I do have a partner, but I've been doing estate planning my entire career. I got into estate planning, like many people do, out of personal experience. So when I was in high school, my maternal grandmother passed away, and she had no estate planning documents, and she had 10 children. So you
My
could
goodness.
probably imagine that that was a lot of people involved in an estate administration and led to some misunderstandings between aunts and uncles. And I remember that time in my life, and I remembered it when I was in law school. And when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and what kind of clients I wanted to work with on a regular basis, I realized the people who create estate plans are people who are thoughtful and they are proactive. They care about what happens to their loved ones if they were not here to take care of all of their responsibilities. And so those are the kinds of people that I wanted to spend my time with and help sort of move things forward and help prevent problems before they even start.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I'd love to tap into a little bit more of what the profile is of your traditional clients.
So even though I just gave you an anecdote about my grandmother, right, somebody who was older, I am really drawn to working with younger families. So I work primarily with high-income young families who have minor children. The reason being, of course, the odds of something happening to younger parents in maybe their 30s, 40s, and 50s are much smaller than somebody who is older than that. The implications are so much greater because their kids can't take care of themselves. They can't manage assets for themselves. If there's no estate plan, that becomes so difficult for their family members. And then for their kids growing up, sort of turmoil can really sort of take hold. And we just want to make sure that we are creating the most comprehensive estate plans that we can so that if anything happened to parents, the kids are going to grow up with the same opportunities that they would have otherwise had, raised by people who really love them and care about them, and essentially can go on to be really happy, self-sufficient adults. And that's the whole goal.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, what are the biggest challenges that you're helping your clients with?
So there's a couple of aspects. I work with clients that sort of run the gamut. I know I said I work with a lot of high income clients. That looks like a lot of different things, right? That could be somebody who is a small business owner. That could be someone who is working at maybe a tech company, or maybe they're an engineer, software engineer. Those are really common clients that I work with. Maybe they're in HR, sort of with big companies, and they might have, as part of their overall portfolio, not just retirement, but maybe other, RSUs and other stock options and things like that that they get from their companies. So we're working to be strategic about their tax planning, so preserving as many of the assets as possible. That's one challenge. For other families who maybe don't have as complex structures in terms of assets, they might be more concerned with what is happening with their kids, right? That is a concern for everyone, but
Sure.
that can sometimes be the hardest one for my
Yeah.
clients, either because if I'm dealing with the couple, they may not see eye to eye, or maybe they come from very small families and they might not have a lot of people to choose to put in these roles. So there are certainly a variety of challenges that people are faced with when they're creating an estate plan. But I tell everyone, regardless of what your sort of core issue is, that your estate plan, it's inherently plan B, right? Plan A is like stay alive and don't eat your
Yes.
estate plan. So no matter what you do, it's never going to be exactly perfect. We're going to get it as close to perfect as we can, but the expectation is we are sort of doing risk mitigation and we are putting together the best plan that we can with the tools that we have in our toolbox right now.
Very nice. Yeah, those are some very big decisions, and I'm sure you ask questions that they might not have even thought of.
Yeah, especially when it comes to emergency responders, right? Short-term guardians. In Massachusetts, there is a statute that allows parents to name short-term guardians so that if something happened to them and their kids are at home with the babysitter, we're making sure that we have actually appointed people to come over who have the legal authority to take care of the kids in the moment, in the aftermath of an accident or something like that. So most people are not plugged into, what would happen in the immediate crisis. They're more thinking long term, who would take care of my kids, while they're growing up. So we need to think about both, kind of the crisis moment and then also how that would unfold.
That's so important. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I do have one last question. It's been really great having you as part of my Vistage Trusted Advisor peer group. And I'm wondering, how has that experience added value for you?
Yeah, I've had a great experience being part of Vistage. The thing that I like the most is being able to leverage the other members for their experience in the different fields that they have. Because even though we might all be in different industries, the challenges that we face either as business owners or as, working as part of larger businesses, sometimes they can be really similar, right? Sometimes there are things that are dissimilar, but some of us in the room might have experience with, hiring, for example, or just sort of general issues with clients, right? Just anything, there's all kinds of things that come into running a business. So being able to bring your challenge to the group and sort of crowdsource, this is my proposed solution. This is what I think I would do. What would all the rest of you do in this situation? So that you can get different perspectives and learn from other people's sort of trial and error so that we can all sort of move through these challenges with more efficiency. And so that we're able to grow our business and be more successful, have teams that work really efficiently for us, and just ultimately all bringing more value to our clients, giving them an excellent client experience, giving them a deliverable that's very valuable to them is really the main goal. So that is really how Vistage has helped me so far.
I love the efficiency piece of it because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's going to take too much time, but really it's a time saver because of the value that you get from the group and you're more intentional about the choices that you make. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here with me today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it.
Take care.